Good afternoon, CCHL fans, and welcome inside the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Eiserman Arena. You're watching Nepean Raiders hockey on InYourSeat.tv. The Raiders host their crosstown rivals, the Ottawa Junior Senators, in their third encounter of this season. My name is Romano DeFranco, and I'll be your host and play-by-play man for this afternoon's tilt. The Raiders are heading into tonight's contest looking for their first win of 2026. They're coming off a 3-2 loss to the Carleton Place Canadiens in the CCHL Showcase. Carleton Place had a 2-1 lead in the third and then scored on an empty net to make it 3-1 before Raphael Tellier got them within one again. The Raiders pulled Cote-State-Brant twice in the game to tie it up, but in the end, Nepean came up just shy. The game ended in a brawl. Let's see if the Raiders can carry that energy into today's game. Meanwhile, the Junior Senators come into the game with a 2-3 record in their last 5. They had themselves a fine showcase, picking up 3 of a possible 4 points. The player to keep your eye on for Ottawa is centerman Clement Valette. The 2006-born native of Montreal, Quebec, leads the Junior Senators in points with 10 goals and 10 assists for a total of 20 points. He's looking to pick up his first point of the season against the Nepean Raiders. Right, for Nepean, keep your eye on Tyler Smith. The 2006 left winger from Navan, Ontario, is in his second season for the Raiders. He is 4th in team scoring with 12 goals along with 15 assists for a total of 27 points. He has been on a hot streak lately and currently has a 6-game point streak with 4 goals and 3 assists in that span. We'll take you to center ice for the national anthem. Okay, that was the national anthem, and hello everybody, and it's a Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's Junior A hockey in the nation's capital at the Nepean Sportsplex here at the Steve Eiserman Arena. This afternoon, the storied rivalry continues between these two teams. Right, starting goalies for the Ottawa Junior Senators, it is Evan Grant. Evan Grant, he makes his first career CCHL start today, and Cote-State-Brant, he will get the start in goal for the Nepean Raiders. His last appearance came back on Friday against the Hawkesbury Hawks, and that was in a 6-2 loss. And he's helping that the Nepean Raiders will win their first game of 2026. And as stated previously, Evan Grant will make his first career CCHL start against the Nepean Raiders. He is 1-0. All right, and all that stuff getting set to go. So Knoebel will start the face-off against David Deschadlitz, and the Junior Senators will win the face-off. That one goes up in behind the net, and doing that is Antoine Poirier. And there is going to be a delay penalty to the Nepean Raiders. Wow, 17 seconds in. and it's holding. Okay, and it is Tristan Knoble. He'll head off to the box, and he's not so pleased with the call. But nonetheless, the Junior Senators will go on to the man advantage, and there will be a face-off to Brant's right. Junior Senators will win the face-off. This one over to Ethan Lowe, as the Junior Senators is Henry Brady. Brady drops this over to Lowe. Brady, and as the Junior Senators will restart their power play to Lowe. Shot on, and that one didn't reach the goalie in Brant himself. As the Nepean Raiders will clear it, and doing that is Raphael Tellier. Yes, that is part of the Nepean Raiders penalty kill, in which, by the way, Nepean's penalty kill, it's in last place, but they'll see if they can get it back up with a much-needed performance in today's game. This is a really good rush for Yates, and that will just get into Junior Senators' zone as part of the Nepean Raiders penalty kill. Drops this one over to let go. Make that Petitpas for the Nepean Raiders. Benoit, and that one is in Junior Senators territory with 43 seconds left to go on the Junior Senators power play. It goes over to Hunter Robitaille for the Junior Senators. Robitaille behind the net with 29 seconds left to go in the OJS power play, in which the Junior Senators power play ranks 9th in the CCHL standings. Robitaille with the shot, and that one is stopped by Katste Brant. So yet 10 seconds remaining on the Junior Senators power play, and that one is gloved down by Brant. Yes, tremendous save by Katste Brant in both ends of the rink. And what a great opportunity by Hunter Robitaille, though. Pretty sure he would like to have another chance at it, but let's take a look on that replay, and Brant was able to glove that one down. Yes, there's only one thing Hunter Robitaille can do. He just wishes he can have that back. The face-off to Brant's left. 5 seconds remaining on the power play. That one gets blocked by Roman Cantrell, and Nepean's penalty kill will come up clutch, as Ottawa is 0 for 1 with the man advantage as the penalty expires. Williamson over to Tellier in behind the net. He's being held down by Isaac Rice for the Junior Senators. A race for it, and that's icing. 17-19 left to go in this first period, and the Ottawa Junior Senators are out shooting Nepean 3-0, but Katste Brant is helping the Nepean Raiders keep this a scoreless game. The face-off into Scully's right, as the Junior Senators will win that face-off. Nick Larkin missing that pass and goes over to Cantrell. Evan Grant missed it, not as the Junior Senators will finish their line change. Isaac Rice, as that one goes up high and wide into the net. 16:53 left to go in the first period. It is 0-0. Some tense action in the game up to this point. Williamson, as he goes over the blue line, just barely avoiding that hit. Goes over to Williamson. And going down is Larkin. He's trying to get back up. Save made Brant. As the defense up to safety, there is going to be a penalty again to Nepean, and it's for interference. Okay, so remember, the Raiders, they killed off a power play for the Junior Senators, and they'll go back at it. But man, how about that huge hit by Ethan Loeb on Nick Larkin? Yes. And that's something that Larkin, he didn't like the call, but nonetheless, the Ottawa Junior Senators will go back to the power play. So Nepean killed off one power play. See if they can kill off another one here. See if they can go 2 for 2 on the PK. Why not? Shoots. That one misses the net. And this one goes. So Ethan Loeb will race back into it. He'll leave this one over to Justin Mongeon. So a minute 37 left to go in the Ottawa Junior Senators power play, and their time is dwindling. This one over to Declan Campbell, the former Nepean Raider. This one over to Mongeon. Back to Henry Brady. Brady with the shot on Kotste. Brand is able to make the save. So, yep, 1:20 left to go on the power play for the Junior Senators, and Kotste Brand comes up clutch for the Nepean Raiders by making a big save for Nepean. Yes, they needed that. As the Junior Senators will win the face-off. Marilyn Offman for the Junior Senators. Offman, as the Junior Senators will hope to make something out of that power play. And behind the net, as Knoble huddles him down. Let's see what happens for the Junior Senators as their time ticks down on the power play. Shoots. That one is stopped by Brandt. Offman goes over to Evan Graham and make that Isaac Rice to Offman. Shoots! That was a cannon of a shot, but that goes over top of the net. And an offside at the blue line. So, yep, shots on net are 7-0 for the Junior Senators. That was a great opportunity for the Junior Senators. With that kind of velocity. Yep, nothing to show for. Of course, Paul Flindell, he's helping the Raiders stay disciplined in the game. This one goes over to Koiza. And this one goes over to the Junior Senators territory for the Raiders PK. 10 seconds left to go into the Junior Senators power play. Brady, Offman, make that Cedric St. Pierre as Nepean once again kills off their penalty, and the Junior Senators are 0 for 2 on the man advantage as the penalty expires. Murtado, he'll put this one to Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, by the way, he had his 6-game point streak broken in a 6-2 loss against Hawkesbury. Prior to that, he had 4 goals in the last 6 games. He's been riding hot for the Nepean Raiders, as his 27 points is 4th place in team scoring. This one goes over to Williamson now for the Raiders. Williamson's shot, that one misses the net. That's still in the near boards. Yates over to Larkin. His shot is blocked by Eric Kane. Larkin has some great action by either side. They've been equally good. A race for, and that's icing. Great. So among healthy scratches to talk about. Okay. So the Junior Senators, they have some healthy scratches. Adam Gauthier, he's a healthy scratch, and Mason St. Onge, who has been committed to playing for Southern New Hampshire University team, is also a healthy scratch. As play will resume. That one misses the net. We'll get to more on that later. This one goes over to Deschatelets for the Junior Senators. He's a native of Toronto, Ontario. You know, where hockey is big and number one. And that one offside has been waved off. Goes up along the near boards. This is a good opportunity for Xavier Guillemette. Guillemette on a move. Goes over to Trainer. The shot stopped by Katste Brandt, and the rebound. Katste Brandt has been the difference in this early stages of the first period. As that's still in Nepean territory. 12:05 to go. This one goes over to Trainer. He's from Mountain, Ontario. Wow, shots on net are 10-0 for the Junior Senators. Katste Brandt has been playing well. As shot, that one is stopped again by Brandt. As Nepean wanted a penalty, but yes, the Junior Senators dodged a bullet. Just barely getting lucky. This one, as offside has been waved off. And going back was Mason Latondo. Over to Noah Bath. Bath is being watched by Caleb Mead. And that one is stopped by Evan Grant with the first shot on net for Nepean. With 11:19 left to go in the first period. And it's 0-0. Right, so Mason St. Onge, he joins the birthday boy Kyle Slingerland, who is among the Raiders alumni to play for the Southern New Hampshire University team. And by the way, Kyle Slingerland just turned 23 yesterday. And Mason Rotondo for the Raiders goes over to Julian Kemp, and that one is turned away by Evan Grant. So yeah, and also this is a tremendous. So Paul Flindell for the Raiders, he's liking what he's seen from his troops, and coupled with their goalie, shot again, and that one is stopped by Evan Grant. So yep, I guess the Nepean Raiders must like what's going on. And also, their head coach Mark Grady, as his Junior Senators are doing an equally good job over the course of today's game. Face-off has been won by the Raiders, as Nepean will have a handful of games this month, as this one offside has been waved off, stopped by Brandt on Henry Brady. Nice move by Reed Pettipas. This one goes over to Thompson. He has one of two Nepean's goals on Friday. Tellier shoots, and that one did not miss by much. And Evan Grant may have gotten a piece of that one. Cantrell back over to Tellier. Near the face-off dot. This one goes over to Cantrell. Back to Larkin, as Nepean and the Junior Senators will finish off their respective line changes. Larkin, nice move, shooting right on. Stopped by Evan Grant as Larkin drives to the net. And now, this is a wonderful opportunity for the Junior Senators. Shoots, that one missed the net, rebound, missed the net again, and that one was Eric Kane. Okay, to Knoble now for the Raiders. Good move, but that one gets blocked by the Junior Senators offense. Goes over to Reed Pettipas for the Raiders. They just acquired him in a trade last month, and they also signed him. He had a 3-assist performance in the first week of December. Benoit, he's the first Raider to score 20 goals and 40 points this year for the Raiders. So that's great news for the overager. As the Raiders will look to reset, Padapa is being watched. Over to Yates for the Raiders. Up along the far boards. Okay, as the Raiders, Owen Kingan will look to reset. Padapa for the Raiders. I'm not sure why we have a broken stick, but nonetheless, Smith in the near boards, as this one is icing. Right, 8:27 left to go in this first period. Yes, and the Junior Senators are out shooting Nepean 12-4. And how about that wonderful opportunity by Nick Larkin, only to be stopped by Evan Grant. And the face-off has been won by the Raiders. This one was over to Latondo. That stays in. Over to Hunter Robitaille. Shoots. Brandt makes the save. Hunter Robitaille has had lots of chances for the Junior Senators, but no results up to this point. And that one goes over to Offman for the Junior Senators. Up along the near boards. As Clement Vallette, the leading point scorer for the Junior Senators, misses that one, and so the Raiders will look to reset in behind the net. Julian Kemp for the Raiders. Julian Kemp, he has a goal this year. That was against the Cornwall Colts back on October 30th. And he was featured on Goals of the Week back in November. This one over to Henry Brady. Shoots, and that one deflected it just wide. What a great opportunity by Henry Brady. 7:07 left to go in this first period. It is 0-0. Brandt has been amazing. Henry Brady with the shot, and that one is gloved down by the Belleville, Ontario native in Cutstay Brandt. Now a little bit of shoving in front of the net, but play will be halted. What a great move by Henry Brady, though. There will be a face-off into Brandt's right. The face-off as Nepean wins the face-off. And that one was Tyler Smith. Turnover. Here's a chance for Deschalettes and the shot. And that one is stopped by Cutstay Brandt. To Yates for the Nepean Raiders. Benoit, who looks to make his way back. Goes over to Eric Kane. He's being watched by Roman Cantrell. Make that Rowan Cantrell. 6:21 left to go in this first period. Offside waved off. And that one goes out of play. 6:16 left to go in this first period. It is 0-0. Yes. So yep, Cutstay Brandt and Evan Grant have been nice and tidy for either side. Offman to that one goes over to Clement Vallette for the Junior Senators. Shoots. That one is a pad save for Cutstay Brandt. That one goes over to Junior Senators territory, and Evan Grant will hold on with 5:58 left to go in that first period. It is 0-0. So Ryan Kingan will get tossed from the face-off. Mac McKee, who scored his first goal in the CCHL against the Carleton Place Canadians. He's on there for the Raiders. Meade, shot on, didn't miss by much. LaChapelle, as the Nepean Raiders again wanted a penalty call, but he didn't get one. Valette grabs this back to Merlin Offman, as that one goes up out of play. 5:32 left to go in this first period. I don't know how much we're going to take this. Goalie's making saves when needed it much longer. And the Junior Sens will win the face-off. He thought of holding on, but at the last minute decides to hand it to Poirier. This one to Ethan Loeb. Offside waved off. And behind the net for the Junior Senators. Over to Knoble for the Raiders. He represented Team Slovenia in the World Juniors last year. Knoble in the near boards. Goes over to Smith. Goes over to Hunter Robitaille. Up to Lucas LeBlanc, the former Junior Senator. Nice move by Kozera. The shot did not miss by much. And the puck battle continues into the near boards. And having won that was Reed Pettipa. And that one's icing, 4:28. Yep, lots to talk about in this first period. And the face-off into the right of Coste Brant. Yes, Paul Flindell loves the way the first period is going. As the puck battle continues along the boards. Williamson. In the far boards is Viscu. 4:06 left to go in this first period. Still looking for the icebreaker. Offside is waved off. And there is going to be a penalty call to the Junior Senators. Yep, and that one is holding, okay? Yep. As the ref makes the signal, well, Nepean had two chances on the power play. Let's take a look on that replay. Oh yes, that was a lazy penalty for Cedric St. Pierre. Just trying to be too cute with that. As a result, it is the Nepean Raiders' turn on the power play. And Nepean's power play coming into the game is ranked second place in the CCHL ranks. And of course, Nepean Raiders are tapping their sticks on the bench to make some noise on the power play. And they're hoping to make a great first impression. Benoit now for the Raiders to Williamson, and that one is stopped by Evan Grant. And Benoit missed that pass, and he's forced to go back so they could come back on this power play. That one is in Ottawa Junior Senators territory as Brant, he'll stop up. This one goes over to Larkin, back to Williamson, as the Nepean Raiders will reset on their man advantage. Williamson to Benoit. Oh yeah, that was over to Nick Larkin. Nick, that's hell yeah. So 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go in the Raiders power play. Let's see if they could bang in a goal. Larkin misses that one in the near boards. Back to Larkin. Shoots, and that one misses the net. As the Junior Senators will clear that one to Nepean Raiders territory, and Brant in behind the net. 2:33 left to go in this first period. See if the Raiders can capitalize. Back to Smith. Drops this one to Lucas LeBlanc with the shot. As Evan Grant's mask comes off. And we do have a bit of pushing and shoving in front of his net. So, yep, there will be a face-off to Evan Grant's left. Let's take a look on that replay, how everything fulfilled. Lucas LeBlanc with his shot really took Evan Grant's goalie mask off. And he'll be fine. The face-off to his left. As Junior Sanders will win the face-off. And that one goes over to Isaac Rice. Almost a giveaway here for the Raiders. Knoble. You can make that read Pettipas. Lucas LeBlanc. Knoble to Pettipas. Pettipas to LeBlanc. And that will just about do it for the Raiders' man advantage as the penalty to St. Pierre has expired. Shoots. That one is turned aside by Grant for the Junior Senators. As this one goes into Nepean territory to Tyler Smith. Nice move by the Raiders and the Junior Senators at center ice. So, as the Junior Senators will have some fresh legs. That one is still in Nepean territory. To Yates. That was a very good move by Yates. As the Raiders are forced to get back and on an offside at the blue line. I don't know if we're gonna take this goaltending show much longer. As the Raiders will win the faceoff, Larkin. An offside has been waved off. Larkin. Drops this one to Cantrell. Larkin with the shot. That one is stopped. That was a juicy rebound for Carter Williamson, and Williamson was not ready for that one. 32 seconds left to go. Offman for the Junior Senators. Over to Mongeon for the Junior Senators. Xavier Guillemette for the Junior Senators at center ice. Guillemette will clear this one to Nepean territory. Cantrell as Larkin misses that one. Tyler Smith, he'll clear this one to Junior Senators territory. Antoine Portier as he looks to get set up with the Junior Senators as the 20 minutes of the first period are up. Man, in that first period, the Junior Senators have outshot the Nepean Raiders 16-9. And yet, Katste Brandt, he was lights out in that first period. He was absolutely dynamite for the Nepean Raiders in that first period alone. Well, they just updated the scoreboard. So shots on net in that first period were 17-9. Katste Brandt has been great in that first period, as does Evan Grant. All right, so once again, it's the Junior Senators 0, Nepean Raiders 0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will have more Raiders hockey on InYourSeat.tv. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Josh Rackless, and when I was a kid, I was a nerdy comic book collector, and that part of me is coming out to tell you that on January 17th and 18th, Ottawa Comic-Con Winter Edition is happening at the EY Centre. Here's my Superman voice. You'll find over 150 artists and vendors, and the opportunity to find unique collectibles, maybe with your, supervision. And this is my Spider-Man. Attendees are encouraged to showcase their best cosplay. I'd be Spider-Man. Plus, everyone can take advantage of the winter event to pick up your, pre-sale discount. This is my Professor X. Pre-sale discount, I predict. You can get on the Ottawa Comic-Con that's happening September 11th to 13th. That's my psychic prediction. Best of all, admission is free and parking just $10 for the day. Or if you fly there, you don't have to pay for parking. Visit ottawacomiccon.com for full details. To have your community news or event listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
Hey everyone, we would like to welcome you all back to the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Eisenman Arena for this Sunday afternoon's tilt against the Junior Senators and the Nepean Raiders. Right, so my name is Romano DeFranco, and I'm so glad you can tune in and for the ride. Right, so we have no goals to report in this first period alone, but we do have some pretty good chances from the Raiders and the Junior Senators. It was a goaltending show, but that even includes when Evan Grant had his goalie mask taken off as a result from that shot by Lucas LeBlanc. Yep, that's exactly where it is we stand as of right now. Right, so once again, it is the Junior Senators 0, and the Nepean Raiders 0. Alright, so don't go anywhere. We will have the call for the second period in moments. Come on back.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Elizabeth Kyle. Catch Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, the clever and quirky theatrical production by Tom Stoppard, running January 22nd to 25th at the Kailash Mittal Theatre at Carleton University. Performances begin at 7:30 p.m. each night with a 2 o'clock p.m. matinee on Sunday. This witty reimagining of Hamlet follows two minor characters as they stumble through fate, free will, and absurdity with sharp humor and playful dialogue. Filled with wordplay, philosophical twists, and comedic moments, the show offers a fresh and entertaining take on a Shakespearean classic. For tickets and details, visit the KailashMittalTheatre.ca or scan the QR code on the screen. To have your community news or event listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Eiserman Arena for the game against the Junior Senators and the Nepean Raiders. As you know, this is the Nepean Raiders' first home game of the 2026 portion on their season. And let's roll the goals of the week. Drops this one to Knoble. Shoots, and he scores! Raphael Tellier off the one-timer, and the Nepean Raiders take the lead on the power play.
Is in first to get to that. Enzo sends it out in front of the net. Make that Nichols. As it's played forward. Carried in. Here's a chance for King, and they score. As it's a pass across, and coming in and picking it up and putting it into the back of the 73's net is Jackson Legault. It's a 1-0 Raiders lead with 11:18 left to go in the first period.
Larkin will slowly makes his way in. Offside waved off. Larkin, what a move! Benoit shoots, scores! Luca Benoit fires that one in behind Colton Rayome. It's his 12th of the campaign, and the Raiders, for the third time in the game, take the lead.
Comes to center ice. Boise had it momentarily. It's carried in though. And a shot, they score. As Jack Gates will come in, he'll put that in behind Donovan. A 4-1 lead now for the Nepean Raiders. 15-19 left to go in the second period.
Tyler Smith coming in for the penalty shot for the Nepean Raiders. The most exciting play in hockey, and here comes Tyler Smith on Colton Leon. Tyler Smith makes a fake, goes 5-hole, he scores! Tyler Smith goes 5-hole on Colton Leon and gets the second goal of the game for the Nepean Raiders, and it'll be 4-2 in favor of the Cornwall Colts with 7:49 remaining.
Right, so these are the goals of the year for the Nepean Raiders. So I just wanted to wish everyone a happy new year and all the best for 2026. Right, so henceforth, that's where this is the Raiders' first home game of the year 2026, and we'll see if they can capitalize on a successful second half of the season as both players they will make their way, and they're on the ice for the start of this second period. Right, so as the Nepean Raiders and the Junior Senators will tap their sticks into the bench for the start of this second period. No goals to report up to this point. Just the goalies have been absolutely great. So Cat State Brand and Evan Grant have been absolutely dynamite for these two teams combined. As that one goes into Nepean territory for this, how they start the second period. That one is stopped by Cat State Brant. And apparently there was a water bottle in the net. Don't see that too often. Now let's take a look at that replay, shall we? Yes, it was Nick Larkin who shoved that off that net. What cost that? A really good save made by Cat State Brant. As Evan Grant, he goes out to play for the Junior Senators. Nice move by Justin Mojon for the Junior Senators. Mojon. And that one did not miss by much. This one over to Yates for the Raiders. And this one to Cantrell. And that center ice is cleared. This one to Mojon for the Junior Senators. And as Cat State Brant, he goes out to play it for the Raiders. To Yates. As the puck battle continues at center ice. As offside has been waved off. As the Junior Senators will reset along the near boards. As that puck battle continues, Roman Cantrell for the Raiders and the near boards. Williamson, the shot on, save made by Evan Grant, and he had no idea where it is. But that one stays out for now. This one offside waved off. Owen Kinghan grabs this back to Kinghan. Shoots, and that one didn't miss by much. As this one goes all the way to Nepean territory, as the Junior Senators will get some fresh legs out on the ice. As this one, as the Junior Senators will reset. As this one goes over to Kozira for the Junior Senators. As this one goes over to LeBlanc, that's the former Junior Senators. Shoots, that one is stopped by Grant. Knoble shoots, save made by Evan Grant, and he hangs on with 17:07 left to go in this second period. And the Nepean Raiders are catching up into the shot department. face-off as the Raiders win it cleanly. Kemp, and that one gets blocked by the Junior Senators. Good move as this one goes up over to Rotondo. Rotondo back to Daniel Viscu. Over to Julian Kemp. As 16:43 left to go in this second period. Still no score. So Kemp to Knoble for the Nepean Raiders. As he waits in. Knoble to Kemp. Kemp again for the Nepean Raiders as that one goes in behind the net. He was being held by Josh LaChapelle as his helmet comes off. That one goes up into center ice, and that one is Luca Benoit. Benoit, huge save made by Evan Grant, and he hangs on with 15:52 left to go in this second period. It's still 0-0. You know what they say, it's anybody's game. As the Nepean Raiders will win the face-off, and Grant will hang on. 15:50 left to go in this second period. Well, the Junior Senators, they outshot the Raiders in that first period. I guess it's the Raiders' time to outshoot the Junior Senators, you know? As this one goes over to Benoit. To Smith. It goes over to Cantrell. And as that one is still in behind the net, Larkin. Goes over to... That one was Owen Traynor for the Junior Senators. Yates, as offsides waved off. Yates with the shot on, and that just didn't have enough velocity in it. Smith shoots. This one goes up over to Guillemette for the Junior Senators. Grant. And this one goes over to Offman for the Junior Senators. And this one, I'll drop this back to Ben Kornick for the Junior Senators. Back to Cedric St. Pierre. Shoots, save made by Katste Brand. He had to, yes, he had to be alert in order to make that save. Let's take a look at that replay, shall we? Yes, that was a really good move by Henry Brady, and that one gets turned away by Brandt. As the Junior Senators make that the Raiders. And that one goes icing. Now with 14:16 left to go in the second period, we'll just go up over to Nepean territory again. And Paul Flindle, he's really helping the Nepean Raiders in terms of their discipline and their overall scoring chances too. Knoble, as that one continues into the far boards. Trying to slow down. Goes over to Offman for the Junior Senators. As the puck battle continues into the near boards. Shoots. That one gets turned away by Katste Brandt. This one over to Offman for the Junior Senators. As this one, offside has been waved off. Clement Valette in behind the net. So the shots on net are 20-15 in favor of the Junior Senators. Goes up in the netting. Yep, 13-17 left to go in this second period. Yep, it's anybody's game. And the face-off was won by Tellier. Goes over to Rotondo. Over to Kemp for the Raiders. And this one goes over to LeBlanc now for the Raiders. Over to Tellier and didn't miss by much. Kemp. As the Raiders are continuing to pour on the pressure. That one is stopped by Evan Grant. And he'll squeeze with 12:51 left to go in this second period. What effort by the Raiders. As the Nepean Raiders will win the face-off. And this one goes over to Julian Kemp. And that shot is gloved down by Grant. And that one goes icing. And yes, Nepeans, yes, they're catching up to the shot department, which is a good sign for them. As the face-off is into Grant's left. As the Raiders will win the face-off. So yep, nothing to report up to this point. No penalties, no goals. Larkin for the Raiders. As that one gets blocked by Kozira for the Junior Senators. That one. And yeah, so play has stopped. Okay, so we got a penalty coming up to the Raiders. I just wanted to see who it is he's taking off. Okay, so Nick Larkin. He's going to the penalty box. Right, so the Junior Senators are 0 for 2 on the man advantage. So Nepean is looking to keep this a looking to make this a 0-0 game. Because we'll see that they can do that on this penalty kill. Rice. As the Junior Senators are pouring on the pressure. Rice over to Cedric St. Pierre. St. Pierre, the Junior Senators, and he wasn't ready for that pass. As the Nepean Raiders will clear that one into the Ottawa Junior Senators territory. So 1:25 left to go in Ottawa's power play. Turnover! And that defense here blocks that threat. So 11:16 left to go in this second period. 1:10 left to go in this Junior Senators power play. It is still 0-0. Goes over to Mojon for the Junior Senators. And up along the far boards. Doing that is Cairo Gardner. So that one is blocked by Kemp. Over to Mongeon for the Junior Senators. And that one gets blocked by... Yeah, blocked that was Mason Rotondo and up in behind the net. And that one gets cleared into Nepean territory, Junior Sanders territory. And not much time left on the Junior Sanders power play. As this one goes over to Yates. As the Junior Sanders are 0 for 3 on the man advantage. Right, so I guess Nepean's penalty kill has been the story of today's game. Yep. As they now killed off 3 penalties altogether. Shoots, that one is stopped by Evan Grant. And he hangs on with 9:40 left to go in this second period. It is 0-0. Let's take a look at what happened on that replay, shall we? Yes, and Tellier goes, he shoots, and that one was stopped by Evan Grant, and he'll hang on. And that was a pretty close call for the Raiders, you know. Just would have been 1-0 for the Raiders, and only one perfect goalie would have stood up to this point. Yates. That one goes up into the far boards. Over to Rowan Cantrell for the Raiders. Smith to Larkin. Benoit. As the Nepean Raiders will reset, and they do. Larkin. As he moves this one to Junior Sanders territory and behind the net. Williamson to Yates. The shot one, it's blocked. Williamson. It's dropped back. Over to Tellier. And this one is over to Larkin. Larkin shoots. Save is made by Grant. Rebound. I don't know how he misses that one, but pretty great scoring opportunities for the Raiders in this second period. As Grant will recover to grab his stick again. And now puck battle continues in the near boards. And this one over to Brady with a shot. Stopped by Katste Brandt. Yep, both goalies have been equally great up to the game up to this point. As this one goes over to LeBlanc for the make that Repadipa. LeBlanc. As LeBlanc gets hauled down, yet no penalty is called on the play. To Knoble. Knoble, as he is being watched by Xavier Guillemette. 7:10 left to go in this second period. 0-0 is our score still, and in that's what it remains as of for now. Cantrell. Over to Julian Camp. He tried to pass that one, but that's a no-show. Knoble. He goes over to Campbell, the shot. That one is stopped by Katste Brandt. Over to Daniel Viscu. Viscu, what a move. Shoots. Save made by Evan Grant, and he holds on with 6:36 left to go in this second period. We got some rough stuff in behind the net. And Viscu is still having a tug of war here. But that cools off. And how about that great opportunity by Daniel Viscu? Yes, that just would have been enough to help the Raiders get on the board, but Viscu, he'll go off for roughing. That is the call. Okay, and Owen Trainer is going to the box too. Okay, then. Right, so as a result of that, we will skate 4-on-4. Right, so we got lots to talk about. So as you can see, Mark Grady is having a bit of a chat. And okay, so I guess Henry Brady will go to the box. Right. Okay, so as a result of that, the Nepean Raiders it'll just be a sole power play for the Raiders coming up. Right, so this will be a great opportunity for the Raiders to pretty much get on the scoreboard. Only time will tell if they will, as Evan Grant will hold on for the face-off. Right, so it'll be a face-off to Grant's left. How about that opportunity? As Grant will cover up for that face-off on that replay. Tellier for the Nepean Raiders. That's the former Rockland National. To Williamson for the Raiders. Williamson, as he's held by St. Pierre, shoots, and that one misses the net short-handed. That one deflected just wide by Clement Valette. As this one goes over to Benoit. To Williamson. Offside waved off. Kozira is shot on. That one is stopped by Brandt. Over to Benoit. To Larkin with the shot, and that one is stopped by Evan Grant, and he hangs on with 57 seconds left to go in the penalty to Owen Trainer for the Junior Senators. Let's take a look on that replay. Great shot by Nick Larkin, and Evan Grant was able to hold on as they will look to reset on the face-off. Right, so that one goes up and behind the net. Doing that is Ryan Kingan for the Raiders. Over to Smith for the Raiders. To Pettipas. Knoble to Pettipas again. Shoots. Save made by Evan Grant. It had trouble written all over for Pettipas for scoring his first goal as a Nepean Raider. Sure, he would like to have that back. As the Junior Senators will look to reset. And this one goes over to Kozira. Right, and so the Nepean Raiders power play will conclude here. They're now over 2 on the man advantage. Goes over to Red Pettipas with the shot on. He scores! Reed Pettipas with his first goal of the season and his first as a Nepean Raider. And as a result of that, only one perfect goalie remains now. And yes, we have a score other than 0-0 now. Isn't that great? All right, so let's take a look at what happened. Nice play by, nice passing starts it off, and Nepean with a bullet drive that beats Evan Grant. And as a result, 1-0 Nepean. Okay, so do they try to go for 2 for the rest of the second period, or do they just try to protect this? So, first goal of the season for Nepean, and it's his first goal in a Nepean Raiders jersey. As this one goes over to La Chapelle for the Nepean Raiders. And make that for the Junior Senators. 3:52 left to go in this second period. Raiders have a 1-0 lead. Goes over to Benoit. Benoit waits in as he's stripped of that puck by Caleb Mead. Goes over to Camp. And Williamson missed that pass as that one is icing. Right. Yep, so you heard that from PA announcer Sean Lloyd. Nepean with his first goal of the season and his first in the Raiders uniform and his first in the CCHL. As this one, as the Raiders win that faceoff. 3:18 left to go in this second period. And this one goes over to Cedric Saint-Pierre for the Junior Senators. Goes over to Hoffman for the Junior Senators. As this one sails over Nepean territory. Nice move by Saint-Pierre with the shot on, and a big pad save made by Kat Brandt on Cedric Saint-Pierre. Valette. As this one goes over to Julian Kemp. Kemp, that just would have been 2-0 if the Raiders kept that pass still. Ropes over to Marilyn Hoffman. As this one goes over to Jackson Legault for the Raiders. That he was featured in the goals of the week, or make that goals of the year. As this one goes icing. Shots on net are even at 23 apiece. And yet, the best news is the Nepean Raiders have a 1-0 lead on the strength of Nepean's first goal on the year. And that in the CCHL. And the Junior Senators will win that face-off. That puck battle continues at the near boards. And there is going to be a penalty call coming up to the Nepean Raiders. Yes, so Raphael Tellier will go to the box. Right, so the Junior Senators, they've had lots of opportunities to capitalize on their man advantage. Let's take a look at that. Yes, Tellier, he does not like the call, and yet the Junior Senators player gets tripped up. So, yeah, the Junior Senators are back on the power play, and Nepean will look to continue their successful penalty kill of the afternoon. So let's see what happens then. As that dumping gets blocked. Right, so this one, high pass was Mongeon for the Junior Senators. As the Junior Senators are forced to reset on their man advantage. Mongeon now for the Junior Senators. Over to Campbell, the former Nepean Raider. He scored 20 goals for the Nepean last year. That one misses the net. They're being forced to reset on the power play. Doing that is Justin Mongeon. So final minute left to play in that second period. As this one, that one is blocked by Mongeon to Campbell. Shoots, that one is blocked by Brandt. 37 seconds left to go in the second period, and 38 seconds left to go on the Junior Senators power play, as OTS is forced to reset behind the net. Right, and this one goes over to Kozira and Kemp, as this one goes over to Vladat for the Junior Senators, as that threat is stopped by the Nepean Raiders, and that will just about do it for this second period. Okay, so yep, once again, it's been a goaltender's show over the course of this game, or at least in this first 40 minutes of play. In fact, the only goal scored in that second period came from Reed Pettipas. It's his first goal of the year, assisted from Tyler Smith and Raphael Tellier. So yep, Nepean outshot the Junior Senators 14-6 in that second period, and like I said, the only goal in that second period came from Reed Pettipas. It's his first goal of the year, assist from Tellier and Tyler Smith. So as a result, the Nepean Raiders have a 1-0 lead. So we have the third period coming up in moments, and they still have 6 seconds to kill on their the power play. So don't go anywhere. We will be back for the call of the third period. Welcome to Kidney News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Ramon DeFranco. Experience The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers in concert live on January 17th at TD Place Arena. This epic cinematic event features Academy Award-winning composer Howard Shore's legendary score, performed live by the Philharmonic Orchestra and Choir, perfectly synchronized while the film plays in high definition on the big screen. The show begins at 7 p.m., promising fans a magical evening filled with sweeping music, thrilling battles, and unforgettable Middle-earth adventure. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster or at LordOfTheRingsInConcert.com. To have your Canadian news or events listed on our website, please go to RogersTV.com, click on Events, and post your event. That's it. Welcome back, everyone, to the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Eiserman Arena for this Sunday tilt against the Junior Senators and the Nepean Raiders. My name is Romano DeFranco. So the only goal to report in this first period was from Reed Pettipas. His first goal in a Nepean Raiders jersey and his first in the CCHL. Owen Kingan and Ryan Kingan, they each got the assists on that goal. So that was so the Raiders, they did get the icebreaker in this one. In fact, that's the only goal of that second period to report. And Nepean outshot the Junior Senators 14-6 in that second period alone. Yep, so let's take a look at the second period highlights. Right, so the Nepean Raiders opened up with some pretty good chances right off the bat. And that includes a highlight reel save that Grant had to make off of Daniel Viscu. And it did include some pushing and shoving. But in the end, Nepean pulled off that marker when they score on the power play. Nepean pulled off by opening the scoring from Reed Pettipas. which was his first goal of the CCHL season, and it's his first in the league as a whole. And Owen and Ryan Kingan got the assists. Right, so the Nepean Raiders will go ahead and kill off the final 6 seconds of their penalty. So the OJS are 0 for 4 on the man advantage. So by the end of this game, the Raiders PK should get a boost. As this one goes over to Ethan Loeb for the Junior Senators. Kemp goes over to Smith now for the Raiders. Smith to Benoit. Benoit, he'll wait in, shoot. That one is stopped. Rebound, scores! Jack Yates got the rebound. And after Evan Grant made the save off Luca Benoit, Yates was able to hammer home the rebound. 48 seconds into the third period, and the Raiders have a 2-0 lead. Right, so let's take a look how that play started. Really great shot by Luca Benoit, but Yates, he was able to hammer that one home. Really great save made by Evan Grant, but he was not able to control the rebound. And as a result, Jack Yates with his 11th of the year. Yes, that's exactly what it is the Raiders needed going into the new year. So once again, wishing everybody a happy new year and hope all of you had a tremendous 2025. As LeBlanc over to Williamson. Over to Tellier with the shot. And that one missed the net despite some great velocity. Yep. This one goes over to Nick Larkin for the Nepean Raiders. To Williamson. Williamson shoots, save made, rebound. They all go whacking at it. And Evan Grant was able to make that save. So Reed Pettipa, who scored one of 2 Nepean Raiders goals, and he does it again! What a great home game for Reed Pettipa. It's his second goal of the season, second goal of the game, second goal of the CCHL, 3-0. Right, so Reed Pettipa, he goes around Marilyn Hoffman, and he goes around Evan Grant. Wow, and he was able to fire over the shoulder. No chance whatsoever for Evan Grant. Grant's glad that puck didn't hit him. But either way, 2-0 Raiders. I guess they're enjoying a good first home game of the new year. I guess that's what it is that they needed moving forward. And they're on their way to ending an 8-game losing streak. As this one goes over to Kornick for the Junior Senators. To Pettipa. He has been absolutely brilliant for the Nepean Raiders. And if he scores one more, he caps off the hat trick. Only time will tell if he will do that. Pettipa, as he's slowed down, shoots, save mate, where is it? That one scores free. As Brandt, he'll slowly makes his way to Cantrell, to Viscu. Viscu, that one will score over to Pettipa in behind the net. Pettipa, and he's being watched by Isaac Rice. Knoble waits in. To Pettipa again for the Raiders. To Redondo. Retondo's shot save was made by Evan Grant, and he'll hang on. With 16:44 left to go in this third period. Yep, Raiders have a 3-0 lead. 2 of these goals came from Reed Pettipa. Yes, and Katste Brandt, he's 16:44 away from a you-know-what. We'll just have to wait and see what happens then. As this one goes over to Larkin for the Raiders. Nick Larkin. As that one goes whacking in. This one over to Caleb Mead for the Junior Senators. This one goes over to Larkin out of the blue line. Nice move over to Ryan Kingan with the shot. That one misses the net. As the puck battle continues in the near boards. McKee for the Raiders scored his first goal in his CCHL career against the Carleton Place Canadians. As the Raiders they'll finish up their line change. All right, as this one goes in behind the net, and having that is Justin Mojon for the Junior Senators. All right, to Henry Brady. And this one goes over to Brady for the Junior Senators. Henry Brady with the shot. That one misses the net. As the puck battle continues, Kingan goes over to Smith for the Raiders. Good move, and that one goes offside at the blue line. Yes, and going offside was Clement. And make that Ben Kornick. Yeah, he's not very pleased about that. Yes, and what's even more interesting is the Junior Senators. They haven't even got a shot on net in this third period up to this point. Right. All right, so this one goes up over to, goes in behind the net. And that one will go icing on the play. It is with 14:39 left to go in this third period. The Raiders have a comfortable 3-0 lead. And they're hoping to do they try to add another goal, or do they just try to protect this? Only time will tell. All right, so Raiders win the face-off. Cantrell shoots, and that one is stopped by Grant. So, yep, if the Raiders win, it will be their 10th win on the season. It looks like they're in position to do so. As this one goes over to Xavier Guillemette. Guillemette with the shot, and that one is stopped by Cutstay Brant. He will hang on with 14:11 left to go in this third period. It's the first shot on net for the Junior Senators in this third period. And Cutstay Brant is trying to protect their 3-0 lead. As this one goes over to Cantrell. As Visco loses it. As this one goes over to Owen Trainer. As Cantrell is forced to move back. Shoots. Save made by Brant. Rebound. As that one is swept to safety by Anthony Bertrand. It's Anthony Bertrand for the Raiders. Bertrand, he waits. He has scored one of 2 goals for the Raiders on Friday in Hawkesbury. In behind the net now is Owen Trainer. As this one to Caleb Mead. As this one goes over to Nick Larkin. To Clement Valette. As Marilyn Offman will reset from his own. So we got lots to talk about. As this one goes into the near boards. As this one will stay in to Marilyn Offman. Goes over to Deschalettes. And that one was not ready, and that one was Ben Kornick for the Junior Senators. Grabs this one to Jackson Legull. Legull, he has 1 goal this year for the Raiders. That was against the Campbell 73s. As this one, it's in Nepean territory. Kingan goes over to Anthony Bertrand. He'll lead this one over to Ryan Kingan. Make that Owen Kingan. 11:54 left to go in this third period. Nepean Raiders have a 3-0 lead. And that one, one goes in the far boards by Isaac Rice. Low with the shot. That one is stopped by Kotstei Brandt. Over to Antoine Portier. Shoots. That one is stopped by Kotstei Brandt. He hangs on with 11:28 left to go in this third period. Raiders still enjoy a 3-0 lead. Let's take a look what happened in that replay. Low with that shot, and that one gets turned away by Kotstei Brandt. He's been the difference maker up to this point. As the Junior Senators will win the face-off. To Benoit, the captain for the Raiders. To Yates now for the Raiders. Shoots, and that one is turned away by Grant. In behind the net. So 11:05 left to go in the third period. Raiders have a lead to enjoy of 3-0. As that one goes over to Benoit for the Raiders. Nice move to Tyler Smith. To Yates for the Raiders. As Valette, he gets hauled down, but he'll get back up. Benoit to Yates. Camp with the shot, and that one didn't miss by much. Benoit over to the far boards, just barely avoiding that hit from Cedric St. Pierre. As Smith, he's in battle with Kornick for the Junior Senators. Right to Noah Bath, shoots, stopped by Grant. To Cantrell now for the Raiders. As the Junior Senators will clear that one to Nepean territory. 9:57 left to go. And Nepean are looking to extend on the lead, or they look to protect this. Larkin, as he waits in. Okay. On to Tellier for the Raiders. Drops this back to Declan Campbell, the former Nepean Raider, as Brandt will hold on with 9:29 left to go in that third period. Well, he did start the year with Nepean, but they traded him to the Ottawa Junior Senators in exchange for Lucas LeBlanc. As the Junior Senators will win the face-off, as that one misses the net. So Kinghan for the Nepean Raiders. So that's Owen for the Raiders. He assisted on the first Reed Petitpas goal. And speaking of Reed Petitpas, he's on the ice now for the Raiders. He goes over to La Chapelle for the Junior Senators. La Chapelle shoots. That one is stopped by Grant. Shot again is stopped. As Kornick drops this back to LaChapelle for the Junior Senators. Okay. Was trying to score 3 was Bertrand. To Viscu, the shot, save made, rebound. What an opportunity for Anthony Bertrand. Yeah, had trouble written all over for getting his 5th of the year. And the Raiders score again. Yes, just putting on a show. It is Tristan Konabel, and the Nepean Raiders lead 4-0. Yep, it's his 4th goal of the season. Yes, and the Nepean Raiders will put this game to bed. And that will this game to bed. Let's take a look and see what happened here on that replay. Viscu, that great play, and over to Knoble. He was able to finish that one off. Love it. Right, so 4-0 is our score now. Right, so 8:17 left to go in the 3rd period. It is 4-0 Raiders. Knoble scored the recent goal. It's his 4th of the year. Assist from Knoble. It's his 4th of the year. Assist from Viscu and Anthony Bertrand. As Ryan Kingan goes offside. Yes, with 8:01 left to go. Right, so the Raiders are looking to expand upon their lead. Right, and the Raiders will win the draw cleanly as Grant comes out to play the puck for OJS. Forced to go back is Mason Ritondo. To Yates now for the Raiders. Over to Loeb as that one is stopped by Katste Brandt. Nice move by Julian Camp to Benoit. Benoit shoots, and that one goes up and out of play. Yep, as Brandt is hurt on the play as a result of the Tyler Smith collision. So, yep, Grant will get back to his feet. And he'll be okay. Right, so Yates will take the face-off, and Campbell will win the face-off. Shoots on, scores! Luca Benoit. It's his 21st of the season, continuing to dominate for the Nepean Raiders. And it is 5-0 Nepean leads. Yes, if you look at that replay, he was able to fire a bullet drive, and that Evan Grant had no chance on that one. Yep. As a result, 5-0 Raiders. Right, so we have a bit of a goaltending change as Maxime Lavoie, he's now in goal for the Junior Senators, and so yep, Evan Grant's night is done. Right. So Maxime Lavoie is now in goal for the Ottawa Junior Senators. His last appearance against Nepean was back on September 28th, also here at the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Yzerman Arena. Nepean won that game by a final score of 8-3. Yep. So yep, that's what we have now for the Junior Senators. So Evan Grant's afternoon is done. Right, so it is 5-0 Raiders on the strength of Luca Benoit's 21st goal of the season. Brant, he'll hold on to that one. And I guess Cedric St. Pierre, he wants Roman Cantrell to drop the gloves on him. But the score settling has gone too far. Right, so speaking of Maxime Lavoie, he is 8-4-2 on the year for the Junior Senators in 14 games. The face-off has been won by the Raiders. Yeah, Lavoie, he's been a reliable backup to the Junior Senators up to this point. So 6:56 left to go in this third period. To Tellier, Raiders are well ahead coming into this game. Hey, they used a great third period. They've scored 4 goals to add to this game. As this one goes over to LeBlanc with the shot, and that one is stopped by Lavoie. It's his first save on the afternoon for the Ottawa Junior Senators. And this one goes over to Isaac Rice for the Junior Senators and behind the net. Over to Clement Valette. Drops this back to La Chapelle as Brant makes the save, and we got some more pushing and shoving in behind the net. Yep. I guess the Raiders, they're just having a great time tonight. But for the Junior Senators, they can't wait to get out. Right, so Julian Kemp will go to the box, and that is for roughing. All right, I guess LeBlanc's night is done as he's being escorted towards the locker room. Right, so there will be a face-off to Brant's right, and the Junior Senators, this is their 5th power play of the afternoon. And we'll see if they can try to at least add a goal. Right, so we'll do the face-off as the Junior Senators will win the draw cleanly. This one goes over to Offman for the Junior Senators. Shoots. That one is stopped by Brant. That was a juicy rebound for Offman, and he wasn't ready for that. Over to Offman. Missing that pass was La Chapelle. Drops this one to Caleb Mead for the Junior Senators. Slowly but surely to Offman. Shoots. That one is stopped by Kotste Brant. And he hangs on with 5:26 left to go in the third period. Raiders have a 5-0 lead. Yeah, the shots on net are 33 apiece. Yep. Kotste Brant has been the difference of this game. Love it. Junior Senators will win the face-off. Shoots. That one is stopped by Brant. And that one goes over to Rice. Back to Antoine Portier. Portier with the shot. And that one is blocked. Portier, as he waits in to Rice. Rice up along the far boards. Over to Guillemette for the Junior Senators. Yeah, 50 seconds left to go on their power play. It goes over to Bertrand. As this one goes in behind the net, and doing that is Antoine Portier. Portier Whoa! Hit in front of the Raiders bench. As this one goes to Rice at the shot. Save made, rebound, scores! It is Isaac Rice who scored on the power play. So the Ottawa Junior Senators are on the board. And let's take a look. Yes, that starts with that great passing play by Xavier Guillemette. Over to Deschalades, and Isaac Rice with 2 whacks at it, and the second whack he was able to put one in. Yeah. So the Junior Senators are on the board, which means that the Reed Padapa goal will be the game-winning goal. So this one goes over to Gardner for the Junior Senators. 4:10 left to go in this third period. Raiders still have a lead to enjoy of 5-1. LeBlanc moves in. Goes over to Williamson. Williamson, right side. Save was made by Maxime Lavoie. Kingham shoots. That one goes wide of the net to Williamson. LeBlanc shoots. That one is stopped by Lavoie. Tellier the shot. That one is stopped by Lavoie. He's been pretty good in relief. Just would have been a bang for the Raiders. Or to make that a 6-1 advantage for the Raiders. Hunter Robitaille. That goes in behind the net. Rolling over to Rice. He's scored the Junior Senators goal, but now that's held aside by Katste Brandt. Shots on net are 37-36 in favor of the Junior Senators, but Brandt has been the story of the game as he stopped 36 of the 37 shots he faced so far. As the Raiders will win the face-off. And a big hit, big open ice hit by Jackson Legault. Losing control, that one was Portier. And again, open ice hit for the Raiders. Yes, they're putting on a clinic. Yes, we got some more rough stuff. Yes, with the score being the way it is. Yeah. Right, so everything will be settled down. Right, so and Legault will go to the box. Yes, as does it is Cedric St. Pierre. Each will go to the box for roughing. So, yep, this will... Alright, so... Right, so the face-off will be to Brandt's right. Right, so we will skate 4-on-4 as a result of these curricular minors. As this one goes over to Rice for the Junior Senators. Goes over to Clement Valette. So with 1:45 left to go in these these roughing minors. 2:32 left to go in this third period. Raiders may have allowed a goal, but they still have a comfortable lead to enjoy. As this one goes over to Larkin for the Raiders. Larkin, he'll make his way in as he gets taken down. And as a result, here comes a pretty good chance for the Junior Senators, but the defender lost his stick. Yes. As this one goes over to Anthony Bertrand. Offside has been waved off to Bertrand with the shot on, and a big pad save made by Maxime Lavoie. So this one goes over to Caleb Meade for the Junior Sanders. Slowly makes his way to Clement Valette. Shoots, big save, Brandt, and the rebound. He holds still. Right, so he hangs on with 1:41 left to go in this third period. And 54 seconds left to go on the Roughing Miners. All right, so the Raiders lead 5-1. 2 of these goals came from Reed Petitpas, who is going to be one of the 3-star selections. Petitpas for the Raiders. As this one goes over to Williamson. Nice move by Kemp for the Raiders. And make that Yates. Yates goes over to Williamson. Williamson over to Larkin now for the Raiders. To Williamson. Goes over to Petitpas. So final minute of play in the third period, and all is academic here. This one goes over to Yates for the Raiders, as he's being watched by the former Raider Declan Campbell. As the Roughing Miners are done. As this one goes over to Marilyn Offman for the Junior Senators. To Rotondo for the Raiders. 30 seconds left to go in this game. Rotondo, as he slowly wakes his way in. To McKee for the Raiders. To Tellier. To McKee with the shot. A blocker save made by Maxime Lavoie. Right, so 5 seconds left to go. And that will just about do it for the game here for today. And as a result, this gaming is all over. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens then. We do have some rough stuff in the far boards. And once again, things are being overflowed with the score being the way it is. As Tellier will let go of Ethan Lowe. All right, and this game is over for Real C's, as the Nepean Raiders will come out onward to the ice to congratulate Cutstate Brant on an outstanding game. Final shots on net are 40-39 in favor of the Nepean Raiders. Right, so as a result, the Nepean Raiders will win their first game of 2026. They will tap their sticks to salute the crowd. Yes, that's a great way to kickstart the new year. Okay, so as the Raiders will leave the ice and they get the 2 points that they need to end their 8-game losing streak. Yes, and like I said, they needed that one. Okay, so let's take a look in terms of what just happened, shall we? Right, so in the first period, there were no goals to report, as Evan Grant and Cutstate Brant were solid in that first period, and that trend continued. Yes, the goalies, they remained perfect until Reed Petitpas, who scored his first goal of the season, made it 1-0 for the Raiders. That was the only goal to report. And in that third period, wow, it was all Nepean Raiders. As Benoit, Petitpas again, Yates, Yep, they each scored the goals for the Raiders in that third period, and the only goal for the Junior Senators was Isaac Rice. That was the only goal scored for the Junior Senators. Okay, so 3-star selections. Jack Yates, who scored, he is the 3rd star of the game for the Nepean Raiders. And Reed Pettipaw, who scored twice in this game for the Nepean Raiders. He's the 2nd star. What an afternoon for Reed Pettipaw. His last point came in early December, and he adds another 2. So that's a job well done for Reed Pettipaw. And last but not least, with Katste Brand, he stopped 39 of the 40 shots he faced. He is the 1st star of the game for the Nepean Raiders. Okay, so just a friendly reminder of the Nepean Raiders' next game. It will be held on Wednesday, January 7th. They'll look to finish that game that against the Pembroke Lumber Kings. It was suspended late in the 2nd period due to a power outage. The Raiders will see if they can complete the game. Otherwise, our next broadcast will take place in a week from today when the Renfrew Wolves come to town. Right, just a friendly reminder, this will be a inyourseat.tv/Flow Hockey broadcast. Yeah, as Tommy Young, he will be away for that week. So, yeah, I'll be doing the Flow play-by-play as well as the inyourseat.tv game. So once again, is the final score for the Nepean Raiders here at the Eisenman Arena. It is the Nepean Raiders 5 and the Ottawa Junior Senators 1. So on behalf of our fantastic inyourseat.tv crew, this is Romano DeFranco here saying, and have a great night, and we'll see you next time.